And remember, you're listening for the radio. So if somebody's trying to sell you a Toyota, I want to know that somebody's trying to sell you a Toyota from a commercial. Does that make sense? Yeah. So a lot of people kind of get that mixed up. So same thing with yours, Madison. If you hear songs, don't tell me who's singing it, because Eliza doesn't know who that is. Think of those devices as Bumblebee from Transformers, right? Bumblebee didn't have his own voice. He's using the radio chatter to be able to speak back to us. Like, that's the whole point in the perception of what you should have. Have you heard anything coming out of yours?
No,
Not yet. Okay. So again, even music coming through, I want to know what the lyrics are. I don't care that you heard T Swift. I want to know that whatever song she's singing these days, I don't even know. I want to know what she was singing. So again, she doesn't know who T Swift is. She's going to care about the lyrics to be able to use that as a message to tell the rest of us. So now that those two cars have left, let's spread out a little bit. Let's get Lily unmuted so she can finally get to work. And I'm going to do a couple of round robins with everybody and kind of see what's going on.
I got N-O-U-T. That don't spell right.
N-O-U-T?
You find that mute button?
Out. I got out.
Got out?
Out.
Sometimes it takes like 30 seconds to go to warm up. It's like an old transistor.
She may want us to leave.
I have no idea.
I'm scared.
Yeah, I think so, wasn't it?
Okay, ask her how she died.
Elise, how did you die? Hold your camera and look through it. You see anything?
No.
You see any stick people?
Kind of. I saw one over there.
You saw one over there? Probably then.
I'm literally terrified. I don't know why I wanted to. Can I ask a question?
Yeah, ask her a question. Not about our children.
How old were you when you died?
Eliza.
Eliza, how old were you when you died?
Eliza, are you here?
Eliza, do you know where you are?
Eliza, can you talk to us? Look for stick.
Is anyone here? I'm getting scared.
Don't be scared. This is just a parking lot.
I'm getting scared of ghosts.
Eliza, can you find us?
Eliza. Don't. Eliza, do you know where you are? Eliza, do you know when you died?
Nicole, what did you ask Eliza?
Do you know when you died?
When she died?
How she died?
Oh, I'm scared.
Don't be scared. There ain't nothing. You see any stick people in there?
No. I'm seeing nothing.
Me either.
I'm getting terrified.
Maybe she's
over there.
Huh?
Eliza. Eliza, are you here?
Eliza, where are you? Eliza, when did you die? Eliza, how did you die?
Eliza, how did you die?
She's not answering. She's not answering any of our questions. Wait. That's all it says T.
Yeah.
This is T. That's all it just has a little T.
Yep.
They all
OT.
asking questions?
O T. That don't make either.
Eliza, how old were you?
T.
Can you hear me, Eliza?
Eliza, can you hear us?
Oh, are you even using this thing? Use it.
I'm getting scared.
You're getting scared?
I see stick people.
Where do you see stick people?
I see
Oh,
it.
it's the pole.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah.
okay.
Pole.
Okay, well, move it around. Like other places.
It's shining over that way toward the vehicle.
Yeah.
I'm seeing something over there.
That's not a person.
That's not a person. Don't resemble anything.
No, you gotta have one that moves.
Eliza, are you here?
Can you find us, Eliza?
Don't ask her that.
Can When you answer, can you spell out the letters?
Okay. I'm seeing nothing.
I'm seeing nothing too. Other than out.
You ain't got nothing other than out.
No.
I got love.
Watch out for the dip.
What?
You got what? You got love?
Yeah, Nicole asked how she died and she said love. Or
Oh.
I heard love.
You heard love?
Yeah. Eliza, how old were you when you died? Eliza, can you tell me what year you died?
Eliza, how old were you when you died? Can you spell it out? Where are you dying?
I'm getting nothing. I'm not getting sick people. I'm getting nothing. I'm just scared.
Eliza.
Oh, 18.0.
Eliza,
Someone
can
said
you tell me what
18.0.
year you died?
Is that you, Eliza?
There's a call. Should we stay back? There's a call. Mom, I'm scared.
We don't get looted when we park in.
You better not. How they gonna know that they did I didn't pay for it? How they gonna know you haven't got nothing yet?
Mom, I'm getting too scared.
You're
fine.
out, that's it.
Oh,
You ain't got nothing else?
No, just
Nicole, you
love.
got anything?
Nicole,
No.
ask some questions.
I'm not asking no questions.
Mom, ask some questions.
Ask her
I'm
what?
just.
Ask her something about how she died.
Eliza, how did you die? Were you alone?
Mom,
Were
I'm
you
scared.
killed?
I'm getting kind of scared. I want to go back to the hotel.
Not yet. Eliza,
I'm getting nothing on this line. But Madison heard the word love. I'm seeing nothing on this.
That's what I asked her.
Eliza, where are you from?
Alright, what do
Oh.
we got going on between you three right now? Anything crazy going on I need to know about?
Nicole asked
How she
how
died?
she died, and then I heard love. That's all I've really done so far.
Okay.
And I only got out. I think she wants us to leave.
Well, not necessarily. So like all that stuff that like you hear on TV, get out and the you're gonna die kind of stuff, like that's all Hollywood crap. So the word out just might mean something completely different. We just have to kind of look at things in context of what else is going on.
Wait, I see something on this. I'm seeing like a stick person, like right.
That's the
It's not-
pole.
Oh,
It's the pole.
Now, again,
didn't
you're
move.
missing a lot, just so you know, and that's okay. So you do have the one that's recording. So there's no way you only heard the word love so far.
Well, yeah, I've heard like other lyrics and stuff, but it doesn't make sense to what they're saying. I hear like a lot of.
It might not always make sense because remember
Yeah.
what they're asking. Like, let's say you're asking, "How did you die?" Like, that's a very specific word that they're going to have to find. So it might not show up for another 5 or 10 minutes, or it might go to another spirit box. So you might get that answer before we leave the space. So we never know when it's going to show up. So I usually like try to ask the same question at least 4, maybe 10 times, like all the way at that time. Just kind of give it a minute interval in between. If you're not getting that answer, move on. So if you're asking a question, Tommy might be getting the answers, and vice versa. So you heard the word love. You don't know what he's asked yet. They were actually asking. So David and Lily, the father-daughter combo, they were actually asking about Eliza's feelings about like how her indigo went. She loved it apparently. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a vague stretch because it's not a direct answer. I can't prove feelings, but you're seeing the point. She didn't die by love. I'm just going to point that out there. But it's also a very specific way that she died. So again, you might not always get that answer. You might not show up for 5 or 10 minutes. So we're going to see how this goes and kind of see how we can kind of piece it all
Should I
together.
be saying everything that comes through?
You're going to have Tourette syndrome. Like, the fact that you've only told me the word love so far, I know you're not telling me everything that you're hearing. And again, you and Tommy are like gonna have this giant grab bag of just like gobbledygook, and you're gonna like, you don't know what's gonna stick and what doesn't. So the more you tell me, the more we have a chance of it sticking to the wall if you have a direct answer. Because again, these are slowed down. It's not TV where I don't know if you guys all watch the TV shows. Am I speaking a different
Oh,
language?
she
here?
loves paranormal caught on camera.
Okay, so the spirit, and you're probably watching Sam and Colby then.
Yep.
So, you know, with their spirit boxes, they're doing it just like the Hollywood guys, and it's as fast as they can make it in hopes that a voice is going to come through. But there's no way to tell that that voice wasn't radio chatter. So my theory is grab as much radio chatter as you can and see how much of that actually sticks out. Again, you'd be surprised how much I actually learn about these spaces by using those spirit boxes this way. And every place we go to is based off of what I've learned from using these spirit boxes this way. It's not like I'm just giving like that story I just told you. That's all things I learned throughout spirit box work at this location. It's not that I just read a shit ton of books. I read a shit ton of books to verify the answers of things we were getting. Like, that's the whole point. You're right on point by second guessing everything. So if you see something, again, if you think you have a stick figure standing there, ask him to do something. Raise the left foot, raise your right hand. You know, if you're getting reaction, like that's a big deal. So I've had that camera. We're gonna watch this truck. Doesn't know what they're doing. So I've had that camera for probably about a year and a half now. I probably have about a dozen pieces where I'm like, stamp of approval, that's paranormal, we had a reaction, they stayed, they did exactly what we were asking them to do. This guy still doesn't know what the hell's doing. But I have dozens upon dozens of others where I'm like, I'm really not sure. Because they didn't do anything that we were asking them to do, but they're in the same height as a normal person. They're moving around like a normal person, yet there's no normal person there. So I usually wait for that reaction. That's the stamp of approval with the camera. And again, with yours, Candy, there's been nights where we've held that thing for 2.5 hours, got nothing. So we have 2 words so far. I'm actually pretty excited about that. This is me excited, in case anybody was wondering. So we actually have 2 things, 10 and out. So I don't know what that means yet. Let me kind of see what's going on over here, because she's screaming a bunch of stuff out.
Yeah, but like, I don't know what y'all are asking.
I think you gotta ask, right?
Huh?
You ask.
You asked though.
I don't want to ask anything. I'm too scared.
JJ.
It's
Nothing JJ.
It could be someone's name.
What was her name again?
Eliza.
Eliza.
Elise,
No, Eliza.
what was your favorite thing? Wait, did she grow indigo? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Eliza, where did you come from?
What was the color of the indigo flower that you grew?
I guess it's blue.
Eliza, where did you go? Are you here, Eliza?
Elise, what was the color?
Do we see you anywhere? Anywhere at all? That's Madison.
So it's clear right now. I don't see anything, so it's clear.
Not popping up.
No, nothing's popping up. Except
Doing all right? Working?
Yeah.
Got anything so far?
I had love, flowers, and then all the rest of it was like regular.
Oh, okay.
Get up this time,
I
this
got a
age.
18, and then it's 14, and a 16, and then I have these words.
Safe, necessary. Toe.
Save necessary.
This is an Ovulus 5. It's
I only got 10 and out.
Yeah, I definitely want to see that.
I have not seen anything on here.
Look, point it where people are. And also
Down.
check
Up at
where
the
they're-
sky, maybe.
No,
No,
not the
no,
side,
not there.
like that tree over there. Point at the tree. Okay. Now go pointing it around. Point it like around the parking lot. Walk towards the cars. Let's go this way.
I'm scared.
What kind of flower did you grow from those seeds?
Eliza. Are you here, Eliza?
I'm getting too scared right now.
You gotta restart
I am literally too scared now. I'm too scared that I cannot. Where did we go home?
It ain't time yet, Missy.
At least, can you tell me how you died?
Eliza, did you like to read books? Do you have books? Do you like Charleston? Do you stay here in Charleston?
Elise, what was your favorite flower?
Did you come on the boat? In the water? Okay. Watch your step.
We're done tonight.
Yep.
You did. Done for the night. Will I press?
No, not done for the night. Done for this parking lot. Now we're going to another one. Watch your step. Take hold.
What do I do with this?
Just hang on to it.
Necessarily. Only because on the back of this device, there's a noise filter. That's what's taking out the white noise. And it's kind of pitted right against like where the volume is. That's why I did a volume test over there. So again, it's gonna have to be kind of lined up in a certain way. So I mean, if you wanted to push through, it's gonna like get rid of the noise filter and it's just gonna be constant like Tommy Commands, which kind of takes away the filter. So let's kind of talk about like what we have going on here so far. Not really a whole lot. I don't like to waste time, as I'm sure you guys don't want to waste time either. And I think a lot of it is because we're still kind of struggling with our spirit boxes. So let's kind of show you how this is all going to tie together. I am excited. We got two words being spelled out for us. We got the number 10 and the word out. And the word out, I know a lot of you kind of put that cliche together from Hollywood of get out of the Amityville horror house. But again, I don't look at things that way. So the word out could mean a lot of different things. So there's a couple of things going on. We're going to see what's going on. I mean, we got all the way up to an 18 with the reader. So that's about an average of what I normally see. Did you hear anything else since last we spoke?
I think I heard flowers.
Okay. I'm not surprised by that. Gardening term. We're talking about her botany, because I'm sure she just didn't plant indigo. So I'll write down the word flowers for sure. Tommy, anything else on your end since last we spoke?
I heard like black badge for
Red party and what?
red party.
Oh, bachelorette party.
Oh.
Party and flowers. So I'm going to cover all the answers to kind of show you how this all ties together. It kind of gives you an idea too of how I go through the media when I go back to the office. Everything we discussed at these locations tonight, guys, has come from previous investigations. This is not something where I just do the research on the space and then see what sticks to the wall. Everything is learned from an investigation. That's why I know what 90% of these puzzles look like. It's the other 10% when you guys hear something weird, then I'm like, I don't know what that means. So we'll kind of see how this goes. Let's see. Super loud Saturday nights. Love it. So Candy was looking for Eliza's full initials of ELP. She didn't get them, but this is Eliza Lucas Pinckney. I say her name slowly because she's the second wife named Eliza from Charles back to back. The first wife was also named Eliza, like I said, but her maiden name also started with the letter L. By the way, if you have a camera, you can go ahead and stop them and give your hands a break. Because again, I know holding them things up can be a little tiresome. But Eliza Lamb Pinckney was the first wife. So Lamb and Lucas will show up, and we've seen it spelled out. We've seen it on word generators and spirit boxes in the past. So just depends on who's actually here. This wife, the second one, marries Charles at the age of 22. Charles was 45. 23-year age gap between the two of them. So again, he was over double her age. Let's see. What happened to the mansion? Which were David and Lily's questions. This is fire damage from the Great Fire of 1861. Now, if we get the words fire, burning, blaze, you guys said you had the word fire. Where did that come from?
He got gas, I got fire.
Well, again, we're also talking about the 1800s where gas was not going to be like a, how do I put this? It was not the source of the fire. I was just going to give you that much. So I know we think of gas and fire, especially if we're from up north, but just we're talking when this happened was 1861. They're not using that kind of, and it stemmed from people like trying to stay warm because it was obviously in December. I haven't told you that yet. But they were just burning wood and it got out of hand. That's kind of how it went down. But anyway, this is exactly where you guys are standing right now. So this picture was taken from behind me. We're technically looking at the back of the house.
The whole house burnt down?
No, that's as far as it went.
Okay.
Now, they probably destroyed the rest of it because this is what happened to it. This fire, in the events that we got the word fire, I'm hoping that we have the part of the date. This happened on December 11th of 1861. One specific night, somebody heard 12, then 11, then 61, and then the word fire from another person. I didn't know what the correlation meant until I actually went back and did the research on 12, 11, 61. I was like, oh shit, that's when the house caught on fire. I didn't know that. So again, this is how I learn about these things, guys. Every tour in town is going to tell you about a great fire in Charleston because we've had dozens of them. That's a map of Charleston. That's the fire that took out the mansion. It literally went from one side of the peninsula all the way to the other. This is $9 million worth of damage back then. So don't ask me what that equates to today. Just we're going to say a lot, right? Perfect. Because inflation changed again yesterday, I'm sure. So 12, 11, 61, very specific numbers will pop up. Let's see. The children, I told you not to ask about them. I'm going to tell you about them anyway, just so you guys know what I'm looking for when I get to the office. 4 children grand total.
Okay.
Charles, signer of the Constitution. Moving on. Next child is Thomas. He fought in a Revolutionary War battle, was shot in his left leg and captured by the British. When they released him, he's left on a cane and a limp for the rest of his days. That was during the Battle of Camden. So you can see the very specific clues that will show up around Thomas. We obviously didn't get any of those clues in real time tonight. The next child is the reason why I don't give the question to strangers. You guys will unintentionally, with our modern day slang, poke the bear at Eliza and all activity will stop. Baby George, he didn't make it. What's today's date, by the way? Today the 29th?
29.
Okay, perfect. Probably why we didn't see much. Let me explain. Baby George didn't make it. In June of 1747, he's born and passed. Now, for a long time, I was guessing on how old he was because his death certificate only said June of 1747 in both the birth and death columns. I was guessing he was about 2 weeks old based on the fact that he has a name. You wouldn't name a child back then until they were christened. It takes about 2 weeks if the church knows that the child is ill from birth. I just found a document a couple of weeks ago. It gave me actual dates. June 14th was the birth, June 29th was the death. I was off by 1 day, so I was pretty damn close. Today is the 29th, so it could be a possible reason of why we are not getting much in here tonight. So kind of keep that in perspective. You got to know your ghost. So again, we're probably poking the bear, plus it's a busy Saturday night. That's probably why we're not getting much. But George, a couple of things about him. He does not have a headstone. He does not have a grave. Yeah, let's think about that for a second. It's also the 1700s. I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark and say that the church may have allowed the family to mummify him and keep him in a tomb right here in the home, waiting for mom to pass away so he could be buried with her. Kind of a creepy thought if you really think about it. It's going to get even worse when I tell you about Eliza's death, but with one more child. Her name is Harriet. If you're not familiar with our coast, Horry County is Myrtle Beach area. Harriet, the only daughter, married Daniel Horry. Obviously the county was named after his family. So that's where Harriet lived. It wouldn't have been a 2.5-hour car ride for her to go see her daughter. Lots of letter writing. If you do hear from Harriet, which we haven't in about 2 years of me doing these tours, just so you know, we normally get words like quill, ink, paper, published, anything dealing with letter writing. So again, haven't heard from her in a long time. Eliza's death, which were Tommy and Madison's questions. By the way, have I screwed up anybody's name yet? Have I gotten you all down pat? I think I do. So if I screwed up, just let me know. But Eliza was 70 years old when she passed away. It's a long time for a woman to be alive in the 1700s for the younger people in the group. She was going to Philadelphia getting treatments for whatever they thought she had. It turned out to be breast cancer. We didn't know what the hell breast cancer was in 1793, the year that she passed. We're going based off of her medical records. Now, she died in Philadelphia. That means she's buried in Philadelphia. I should raise 2 questions in the back of your brains. The first one is, Baby George. My theory is correct. They're going to transport his tomb from here all the way to Philadelphia by horse and carriage. Most of you look old enough to remember the game Oregon Trail. Somebody's going to die of dysentery along that trip, because it's going to be at least 3 weeks long. Second question, if Eliza's up in Philadelphia, what the hell are we doing in an empty parking lot? It's a rarity that I will take you to cemeteries. We will be visiting one tonight just based off of what goes on in that location during this month. But normally I wouldn't take you to any, simply because it's minimal activity at best. Even if I am getting activity, there's people passing in and out of there all the time. I like to build relationships. Obviously me and Eliza seem to be on a one-on-one basis, right? Especially with the respect factor. So none of you are going to be staring at your headstone when you're gone, by the way. You're going to go to your mansions 400 miles away. That's why I'm bringing you to the middle of an empty parking lot in the middle of the night. So, take a guess. Who's the president that was the pallbearer at the funeral? 1793. Where's my history buffs? You got a guess you want? Oh, He's actually correct. It was indeed Washington.
It
Was who?
George Washington.
Really?
Yeah. So what's funny about that is when we got over here, I told y'all I'm not going to give you questions like what color is George Washington's white horse. I subliminally put George Washington in the back of all of your brains. He's the only one that failed. The rest of you passed with a fail because you were too slow to answer. Normally, if it's somebody with a spirit box, I normally take their spirit box, like let's say Tommy when I'm doing my round robins, and he says George Washington, even though he didn't hear it coming out of his spirit box, I take it and give it to somebody else he came with. I don't want him repeating all the same things I've already said. So I think you kind of like joked around about it, like, hey, George Washington. But again, kind of everybody gets the joke of you pass with a fail. But it was Washington's own request. He knew Eliza pretty well based on her indigo. Helped get our country started. Not to mention all the Pinckney men were politicians. You think he didn't know who was running his 13 colonies? Like, really take a look at like the time and history of where we're looking at these folks. So where we are going next, just so you know, I'm going to be relying on bleed over. Let me explain. We could have had Big John things over here, Pinckney Mansion stuff over there. We're still close enough in proximity. So again, the number 10 is the only thing I can actually tie that together with is the nephew of Eliza, Charles Pinckney, signer of the Constitution, born in October, died in October.
I got 10 also.
Did you get 10 on yours? So again, now we have double 10s. Hopefully I have the other numbers that are going to show up somewhere of what those dates actually were. So we did get the number 8. I don't believe 8 is that number. So it's not, I don't think it's October 8th, but I do have it written down, so I'll be able to verify it. I just don't have that one memorized. But anyway, you guys are seeing the point on the bleed over. Where we're going is an alley. We're going to go in there. There's probably going to be other tours in there. We're going to keep our cameras pretty nice and low. Like we're going to call it the belly shot, nice and low, so that way they don't feel uncomfortable. And then I'm going to go in there and stir shit up, and we're going to leave. Simply because we're not going to have the space to be able to spread out like what we're doing here. The next location is literally right around the corner. You will be getting things from the alleyway and around the corner simultaneously. So spirit boxes, like that's where you're really time to shine. Along the way, there's no point in recording on your cameras because we're not going to recreate the Blair Witch Project. EMF meter, so that would be you, Derek. Ignore your readings because the parking meters give off EMF from underneath your feet. So when we get into the alley, your new baseline is going to go down the alley, but just keep your cameras nice and low. If other tours are going to come through here or other passers-by, just point your cameras at the ground. Let's not make them feel uncomfortable. We got this group coming through real quick. How you doing, man?
Good, excuse us. Sorry.
Good, you good?
Sorry, excuse us.
Fine. So, yeah, Derek, just remember you're looking for
Gun battle twice.
gun battle. Okay. And that came out of your necrophonic. Take a look at that. So, welcome to Philadelphia Alley, everybody. Anything coming out of our words? Nothing. You're going to be looking for the letters R-I in here. So, in that order. So any words on yours? Just a quick tap. Quick. Yeah, it's a lot of people getting held up with that one. I'm sorry, Derek, any words coming out of your mouth?
No new words.
Okay. All right. Welcome to Philadelphia Alley. This place used to be called Duelers Alley. This is where some of the duels used to occur. So, when I say some of the duels, it's because dueling was illegal back in the 1700s. They had to find hiding spots. This just happened to be one of those hiding spots. Looks like we're gonna have like a nice large group coming through. I thought there was another group behind us. So, this location, every ghost tour comes down here. We all tell the same damn story. I just give you a few extra details just because we're ghost hunting. We're not doing a campfire marshmallow kind of cheesy ghost tour. So Candy already knows that she's going to be looking for the letters R-I, so I'll explain that as we kind of move along. I was looking at your spirit box, make sure you're still moving. Yep, you're still in good shape. How you doing, folks? So here's how this goes. Uh-oh, Madison's got the phone out. That means she's getting a lot of stuff. Normally when I see the phones out and they're typing away, they don't want to forget what they've heard. Is that what you're doing, by the way? Oh, she's using Spirit Talker.
That one's a good one too.
So, this location, here's how it goes. If a doctor moves down here from Rhode Island, his name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. In the event that our two Spirit Box listeners hear the song Brown Eyed Girl while we're here, it's not coincidence, it's part of his name. We get it all the time. But anyway, that's why part of the reason why you're looking for the letters R-I is because of the Rhode Island. We're going to talk more about that in just a second. But he moves down here because he's supposed to get married to his fiancée, Amanda. Amanda just inherited a lot of money from her dead parents. She has an attorney helping her out with all of this cash flow that she just got. The attorney thinks that Dr. Ladd is just after Amanda's money. So he tells Amanda to get rid of the doctor. Doc moves down here to Charleston, proof that he's not after her money. He's making his own. He's going to start his practice down here. On his way into town, he had a coachman that set him up to be robbed and killed. It wasn't a very good start to his stay here in Charleston. I try to speed through this one because it is super warm down here, so I'll try to be as quickly as I can. I mean, I'm dripping right now, like drenched. So
Yeah, we're all having that right now.
yeah, I have menopause right now. Like that's
Okay.
what I'm at.
As soon as you mentioned his name, by the way, came up with present in my head.
So, on his way into town, this coachman set him up to be robbed and killed, but somebody was walking by and seeing what was about to happen. The person walking by, his name is Ralph Isaacs. Do those initials sound familiar to you? It's exactly why we have that little Ouija board device for this location. I was getting the letters RI all the time on regular spirit boxes. I bought that thing to verify it. We've had it about 7 or 8 times in the past year since I've had it. Only around Ralph's name, not the Rhode Island. So now I know who it belongs to. See, it's all about verification. Moving on. Ralph tells the doctor, dude, I know this guy, the coachman. He's going to try to kill you. Come with me to 59 Church Street. I got friends there. They'll rent your room. You'll be safe. Doc took him up on that offer, and the two gentlemen became friends. Now, the longer the doctor stays here, the more money he's making. He's proving his point. He's not after her money. He's making his own. She gets wind of this from Rhode Island, and she's coming down so they could be married. Dr. Ladd then became known as the Whistling Doctor. This is why I hate the damn story. It's a giant cliche. No matter what haunted city you guys are ever going to visit in the future, we all have a cliched whistling ghost. Ours just happens to be a doctor. Why are we in Dueler's Alley then? Let's kind of get into that. Dr. Ladd and Ralph go see plays together. They can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. That's the hierarchy of Charleston. He gets better seats. So they go see Richard III one night, and on their way home, they're discussing the new actress that they just saw that was here in town. They'd never seen her before. Doc thought she was great. Ralph thought she was horrible. They start arguing, and then Ralph starts... What's that? Oh.
I hear it going off over here. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I asked him what he was saying.
He's really missing out on a lot. Like, I don't know that he's grabbed the full concept of it yet. So, where was I? Oh, so they started arguing over that actress, and then Ralph is insulting the doctor's fiance back home in Rhode Island. It got really ugly between the two guys, and they went their separate ways. I already told you Ralph has friends around town. He goes to the newspaper, places an ad in the paper telling the whole city of Charleston who he thinks is the doctor. Kind of a disgrace to society kind of shit. Doc saw the ad, but rebutted with, let's go to Dueler's Alley. Somebody's going to die. All this started over an actress. I'd just like to point that out one last time. So the two gentlemen came down here, back to back. They took their 10 paces away from each other. They turned. Doc points his gun in the air and shoots. He did not want to kill his friend. He just wanted to have the courage to show up to the fight. Ralph, however, has his one bullet in his flintlock, and he puts it in the kneecap on the doctor. Doc didn't die. He fell to the ground. His friends picked him up, took him home to 59 Church Street, where he died 10 days later, November 2nd of 1786, after refusing medical treatment. I'm going to point out two things. It's 1786. Gunshot wounds back then, a lot different than now. Secondly, he's a doctor. He probably just thought he had lead poisoning and tried to bleed it out himself, but he failed, obviously, because he died. Now, every ghost story that comes down here, which is all 338 of them, we all come down here and say, listen for the whistles. We have 3 cameras recording right now, plus my voice recorder. If we're going to capture a disembodied whistle, more than likely it's going to come up on one of those 4 devices. That's the beauty of it. We are going to have a tour. I think it's going to go all the way through. So we're going to split the seats for them. I will tell you, these guys, we're going to let them pass through before I continue on. Oh, you're fine. How are you? Good. How are you? You good? So, here's what I'm going to tell you guys. If you're going to come down here on your own and try to capture those whistles for yourself with your own voice recorder from your phone,
Later at the DR60.
just remember, well, she's got a special DR60. Most people don't know what that is. Well, most people know the story that are down here all the time. Everybody that walks by Cumberland or Queen Street, we all throw a whistle down the sound. It's just something we do. So, kind of keep that in perspective when you guys are walking through here on your own. Come on through, guys. Now, with that said, I will tell you that I've actually been thrown out of here before. So let's kind of get into that. That's the fun part of the story. And you'll probably appreciate this since you work down here from time to time. The alley didn't go all the way through the way we came in. There used to be a wall up there before this was Dueler's Alley. The reason why is because this is where they kept the livestock in the city of Charleston. It used to be called Cow Alley. So why am I telling you this? That means that the bricks down on the other side, way down by Queen Street, are older than the ones you're seeing. Those bricks are sun-dried bricks from slave children. There's a full swipes, and others. And I used to take my groups all the way through for a history lesson because there's nothing paranormal about that damn brick with the handprints in it. Remember how I told you I feel about cemeteries? That's the last place you're going to find that kid. However, November 26th, 2020, my entire group of 10, I take them down there for the history lesson. They all stop, and they're all huddled around the damn brick waiting for something to happen. I know nothing's going to happen. I'm trying to shoo them along because we're also standing outside the kitchen window of the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. I'm trying to be respectful, not realizing we were out of bounds for tours. The new owner of that mansion came out screaming. My daughter thought it was hysterical because she was on the tour that night and her father's getting yelled at. She was all about it. Yeah, we moved on. The next day was Thanksgiving. I don't tour on Thanksgiving because I worked in upper management for Walmart before I started doing this, and you guys like to fight over towels on Thanksgiving. You scarred me for life, I promise you. So the next day was the 28th. I called my partner that I had at the time, and I told him what happened, and he started laughing just like my daughter did. He's like, dude, you're not allowed to go down halfway. It's residential passing. He's like, you got to reroute your group. So what I told my group that night, I don't believe in the next story, guys. I've never had anything happen over there. I'm not into pirates. I'm into vampires. And we're actually skipping the pirate story tonight because we're monitoring that location now. But the point of the matter is, before we left the space, somebody with a spirit box heard the name Anne. And I didn't tell them which pirate we were going to be investigating, which is the famous female pirate, Anne Bonny. It was kind of like, well, hot damn, that's pretty cool. We go up around the corner. I told them what I did know about pirates in Charleston, which wasn't much because I only had a few hours of research. And somebody else heard the number 300 coming out of another spirit box. I don't know what it means. I wrote it down. We were there November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonny's trial for piracy was November 28th of 1720, the exact 300th anniversary of her pirate trial. I've done more research on pirates because, again, pirate stories, they come from pirate lore. That's a problem for the guy with the master's degree in writing. I need facts and data. Pirate stories are written 100 years after the golden age of piracy. That's a big deal for people trying to research this. So, again, I was actually quite mad when they started monitoring the location where we would normally do that investigation, and I had to come up with, okay, I know that there's a lot of stories over here, what can we do, and we're still in June. So we're going to be going up to a cemetery, and the camera that David's holding is going to be the major feature because we're going to be dealing with an apparition. I'm going to tell you what the story behind this apparition is and why we're looking for it. Just know that every ghost tour ends their tour there because of that apparition, but they don't have equipment like us. They basically have the apparition on a tablet, and it's just their show and tell for the end of their night. So we're going to go up and around the corner. We may have to wait a turn or two. In the meantime, I will tell you what we're looking for out of those cameras. But all three cameras will be going right up to the gate, and hopefully we're going to capture something. Even if it's only going to show up on one, it'll teach me what the other two are incapable of doing. If you guys are seeing my point about studying the paranormal, guys, it's not always going to be the direct answer. Talk to me. What have we heard along the way, or since we've been here? Tommy, have you gotten anything? He's like, I'm not answering anything. Any other words, Derek?
No.
Lily's been on mute. What do you got going on with your two devices?
I've been mostly using this. When you said that the doc died after 10 days, he said my life ended fast. When they were talking about how bad the actress was, it said bad.
Okay.
And then it said 12, and now it says you're respectful. But
I have my skepticism about the app that you're using, but I haven't used it yet. And only because nobody can tell me how large the dictionary is inside of it. I like to know, what am I working with? Am I working with 200 phrases? Am I working with 20,000 phrases? So I like to kind of have that giant grab bag. My life ended fast. I like that one. And for some odd reason, when I look into 12, just to see if there's anything in there, any words being spelled out for us?
Just sub. SUB sub.
Okay. So I'm still happy with the 10 and out, just so you know. All right, we're going to go up and around the corner. So Lily, you're going to start listening as soon as we start walking to see if we can get anything. And Derek, any 8s or above?
No.
Okay. All right.
Zeros right now.
Let's get out of this hot ass alley. Let's go learn about apparitions. Let's see what we can get. Remember, Bleed Over will show up at the next location from Josh.
Anybody walking with us and or on the other side? Step forward and say something.
Yeah.
Is there anybody
No.
prominent people.
I don't see anything.
Any ghosts flying around Charleston tonight?
No.
I don't have any ghosts. Anyone following us?
Yeah, focusing right now. I'm not sure why. Doing what I'm supposed to be doing. How long until we go back to the hotel?
Walkers in that cemetery.
All 3 cameras, whoever has a camera, just come right up to the gate. So Lily, I'm going to put you on mute for 2 minutes just so I can tell everybody what goes on here, and then we're going to get you unmuted again. So, Yolanda, let's get you up here with your
Scan
camera
around
too,
and see if you
so
see
I can show you guys everything that goes on up at this location. All the ghost tours stop up here. Here's how this one goes. There's a sign right here. The sign reads, "There's no ghost here but the Holy Ghost." The reason why, they don't want jerks like me with cameras like what David's holding, trying to reenact what actually happened. Here's what happened. 1888, a young lady passed away by the name of Sue Howard Hardy. So where's Candy at? You're going to be looking for SHH. Shh. It's cheesy, it's campy, but those are her exact initials, Sue Howard Hardy. Yeah, let's get you guys like right up to the gate with those cameras.
Look through there and see if you see anything.
So I see.
Could be the
So,
bars.
now with Sue, she actually dies 6 days after her stillborn child. So it's a very sad story, and yes, I'm always telling you guys about dead kids. But here's why this place is so significant. 1987, 99 years later, we had a local photographer, his name was Henry Reynolds. He is taking pictures of all of our cemeteries, and he captures a full apparition inside of one of his photographs. It's 1987, he doesn't have the tech that we have now. He has to send it to Kodak. Kodak can only prove the kind of camera that he said that it came out of, and the fact that the picture was not altered. This picture is actually cursed to females. This is part of the reason why I didn't always tell this story. So, I'm going to show you guys the picture. What I am going to ask of you is that none of the females touch the damn tablet. Females that handle it in even a tablet or a phone kind of mentality type of format, same symptoms we talked about at the beginning: headache, nausea, dizziness. Females that are pregnant and handling it, not going to be a good pregnancy based off the gist of the story of it being a stillborn child. So again, I do this for a living, guys. Again, I'm not like trying to like put scare tactics into you. I don't want to be the guy where somebody had a great honeymoon and 9 months later I cursed your family. So I tell every single group regardless of who's in it. So by the way, Sue's grave, for those of you with the cameras, you guys see the cross headstone way in the fur in the back? Sue is just to the left, one more row behind that. We were actually closer to her when we were back in Philadelphia Alley than we are over here. So I'm going to go around while everybody's kind of getting some footage over here. We'll take probably another 3 to 5 minutes for the footage because again, every ghost tour stops here at their big finale. I let them have it.
Any
We'll get out
ghost
of their way,
in
and I'll explain
there?
our last 2 stops of what's going to happen with those locations.
I think it's just the
So
trees.
let's see, just so you guys know, the 2 cameras right here. Here is your photograph that was taken. Your apparition is right here. You're looking at a woman praying over her own grave with a baby basket right next to her.
So,
So
And that was in front of the cross, or?
it's actually it's on the other side. So she would
See
like from this
anything?
angle, she would be facing us.
no. I'm seeing
Here is
trees.
the full picture that he took, just so you guys know. Your apparition is right here. You're looking at a woman praying over her own grave, and then the baby basket is right next to her. So again, this is usually like in the top 100 apparitions ever caught. So full pic, apparition right here. She's praying over her own grave. A lot of people miss the baby basket. I was able to point that out because again, you can try to find it on the computer. You can see the damn baby basket.
Right.
Lily, did you get a chance to see this?
Here, hold it. us.
I got deja vu. Earlier over there, I got dusty
Yeah.
walking away from me.
See, you're getting the hang of it. It's good.
I think it's just the bars.
The 6 is in there. Obviously, month of June are all good. But this actually happened on was Father's Day this year. Was it 16th?
Yeah.
So this was the anniversary of it. So this year it fell on Father's Day. So it was 6/16 is the actual anniversary of it. I did come down here because Father's Day I took the day off because I'm a dad. So I took the night off. So I knew that I wasn't going to be down here. So the night after the 15th tour, because my office is right around the corner, I came down here at like 3 in the morning. I brought the camera that Dave was using, and I hear jingling of keys. And then, hey, went to go watch the camera because I only had 1 minute and 8 seconds of footage, and I didn't know if it was like somebody monitoring the grounds because of what goes on here. And there's nothing there. Absolutely nothing. Me talking. No sounds. I was kind of pissed about that. I was hoping to have them damn jingling keys. Candy, we got anything going on over there?
No,
No SHH?
no,
No baby?
no,
Nothing like that?
no words.
If I, can I show you something
Yeah.
that I got from Savannah, Georgia, when I went to go something last time? So, have you heard of the Moon River Brewery?
Yeah, they just closed.
It's closed.
Yeah, we're good.
Wow, we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. So I was in there taking like a bunch of flash pictures with my camera on my phone because I wasn't really doing it with the EMF reader or the camera that I had. And this is one of the pictures that I took. I didn't look at any of these until I got back to the hotel at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I zoomed in all the way to this corner. And I think this looks like a face. Some people that I've asked don't think they're a face.
Got sad truth.
I see like there's the nose, mouth, chin, that could be like hair.
She's looking at this right blob only. I can see where that right blob only would be. We are probably both looking at it as a whole.
Sideways there too.
There's also ways to analyze when you get photographs like that, just to make sure that it's not a trick of the light. If you want to send that to me, you already have my phone number, just text it, and I'll send you the analytics back and tell you what I think about it. Again, people send me photos all the time. So if I can't figure it out, I usually go to my wife. She went to school for photography and graphic design, so she'll tell me if it's a trick of the light. But yeah, just send it over.
Okay, because I know like the window, that was a window, like it was a backdrop with like a black tarp and I couldn't see any light in it. So I'll send it to you.
Yeah, send it over. I'm running through some analytics tonight. Yeah, a little bit of a weird spot back there.
I tried to contact the people that
But
showed
this
me.
one is interesting. But I haven't.
Has it moved at all?
Now it's gone.
Anything going on with yours, Nicole? Yours got a lot of layers in there, so it's always hard to tell if you're capturing anything or not, because there's so many layers inside of a cemetery.
We're back. It's back.
They would have analyzed it. All right, looks like this tour may want to come over here. We're going to move down by this fence so I can explain the last 2 stops because they're a little on the weird side. And then I wanted to ask Amanda about that. She was feeling before we actually got started. So yeah, just so that they can have to look at a lot of these tours that come over here. So we'll stop right here for a minute. Talk to me about some of the things you were getting before we even got started today. Like when you guys were still sitting, getting anything, like anything.
Oh, when we were. Oh yeah. I get what I do is I'll focus in on and I'll get like images. So I'll write down. I always write down before I get places.
Okay. Anything specific that stood out to you so far? Like based on the locations we've been to?
Something about pearl ring. I got my notes with me.
Curious.
Yeah.
And then I'll explain our last 2 stops of how this is going to go. Tommy, did you get anything else? Oh, wait.
We got a couple.
Okay.
And sad was before that.
Oh, I don't want you to see words at a time?
Okay.
Oh yeah.
about a 2-star general. 7. I got 1700s. Something happened the other half. Something about Haynes. I don't know if that's Haynes is spelled right or if it's a different kind of Haynes. Something about the pearl ring or something. Elizabeth.
That's Eliza's.
Oh, okay.
You're right on 3 so far.
Oh, okay. Something about RuPaul. I don't know yet.
No, you're missing the connection. That's okay. You don't know it yet.
Okay. No, I don't. Something about 2 wars. Hong.
Okay.
Something about being in cahoots. Trickery. Like swindling. I saw red cups with the ball. You know how you try to trick somebody. So something to do. Yeah. So all that I got was something to do with trickery or swindling. So,
Okay.
hey, tell me what's right.
Well, I can't yet.
You can't.
Not yet. You're right on the on Elizabeth, but that's her full name.
Okay.
The other things you need to focus on, the word Haynes, RuPaul, and 7, which I can tell you that one real quick. Okay, the rest of it we gotta wait.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
Are they gonna?
You'll see why. Because
See, this. That's how I freaked him out. He wasn't a believer until a couple years later when all this. Because usually I do investigations on homes. I always trump on a kid's case over any adult. And I've had hitchhikers. 7 months, every 2 weeks, something traumatic's happened. I had to go to the priest weekly. I had to contact the highest priest, go through ritual baths. It was crazy, dude. I know. I got saved.
you've
before
got
I
things
even
going on there, but you just don't see the connection
But
yet,
this
which is great.
when I do a house investigation before I bless it at the end.
Yeah.
The night before, I'll do my meditation. I will write down what I'm getting, screenshot it, send it to my person, and I tell them, look, this is what I'm getting now. Don't tell me anything. If it makes sense, good. But if there's something on here that doesn't, I said, save these notes because you might pick it up a week later, 2 weeks, a month, but it will make sense eventually.
Psychic I was working with used to do automatic writing, so I wouldn't tell him anything on a rate to a location,
Right.
and he would do his automatic writing on the screen there.
That's, well, I got majority of it while we were looking for
Yeah.
this out. And I like it. I had nothing to write with, but I had to write it down real quick.
So we get the number 7 here all the time. So the number 7 usually shows up in doubles, just so everybody knows. By the way, if you have a camera, you guys can go ahead and stop them. You guys can relax with those. So the number 7 shows up, Henry. If you're here, I got some folks here on the bench. You communicate through. Ladies, can you hear me, by the way? What color is the blue banana? Trying to get it started red. Okay, they definitely can't hear me because they didn't answer what color is the blue banana. Henry, if you're here, let's talk about your job. What'd you do for work? Henry, which sound are we hearing right now from the church? All you have to do, David, is look straight ahead. In the event that it's blurry, there's a focus point right here. All you gotta do is move that focus. So you'll describe it as you see it.
Oh, okay.
So when a new image shows up, just describe it.
Incredibly.
Henry, let's talk about your work and also ask you about what sound you just heard out of the church. So if you could tell us that, that's fantastic.
No.
Forgot. It's still going on. Can you tell us what that sound is?
A lot of series. Incidents.
If your glasses fit in there, dude, I'll be impressed. Oh, yeah. All right. Henry,
Don't charge me.
what sound?
Sad to say.
What sound are we getting out of the church right now?
Got a kid on a bicycle, but then the galaxy is going.
Okay. We'll just look straight ahead, and that picture will probably fade away. Kid on a bicycle. I don't know who the child is.
Got caught.
Henry, your son was old enough to ride a bicycle.
Yeah, you
He had a helmet on and everything.
Yeah. Sounds too modern for
He
me.
was a little kid.
He had a helmet on. It's definitely too modern.
Yeah.
Sneaky, huh?
Henry,
Ha ha ha.
darkness.
Henry, let's talk about your work now that the sounds are over from the church. What did you do for work? What was your job?
Thought you'd get my money.
We're excited.
Henry,
You can't.
somebody come here with you?
It's hard to.
Seattle.
Henry, who else came here with you? I don't feel like you're the only one trying.
Posers.
Okay.
Their hands are dirty. Wait.
Henry, be more specific.
Say that again?
I need to be very specific. No more conversational pieces.
Try.
Be specific. I'm not gonna get very that specific. You're getting louder and louder.
That's not funny.
I thought it was funny. I gave up on the class. Henry, we're using the blue box too, but if you want to give us images, you can do that.
Your face. He'll freak out. Don't freak out.
Henry, tell me who else is here.
Decision.
Henry, so now I need you to ask everybody to take a step backwards. I'm looking to focus on you and you alone.
I'll kill you.
Henry.
I'm tired of you saying that.
Always focus. I put the microphone.
Please stop asking me all these questions.
This guy is literally tired of it. That's not the first time we've heard crazy ones. Henry, what do you want to talk about?
There you
then?
go again.
Henry,
Oh, sorry.
Henry, back to your job.
He's laughing at me.
Back to your job, Henry. What did you do for work? We're just trying to verify you're here.
This can get entertaining.
We're hoping so if you answer some questions correctly, that would be great.
You're a pain.
Told you this could be funny. Dave, you got any images?
No, just blackness, some black at the bottom, and then the looks like
Amber Galaxy?
yeah, look blue.
You know the answers.
I do know all the
A lot of
answers.
stuff.
I'm trying to verify you're here.
How many times?
It's been a lot. No more conversation. Something factual, please.
But you know. Here we go.
How does it feel?
I just heard that, right? Like, how does it feel? Like,
Nicholas.
He knows your name.
Oh, I thought I was quiet.
Henry. I know you don't like me coming here.
Yeah.
Kind of being a jerk tonight, Henry.
Over judging.
Don't make me.
That makes you what, Henry? I'm trying to get some answers that are verified.
Here.
You are no longer with us. We're here having
You're
conversation.
done.
Thank you.
You're done, and thank you. Henry. Talk about your son.
I don't wanna.
I was
We
hoping
have
for a different
already.
reaction. Tell me about your son's birthday. Girl, you want to talk about your wife?
No.
A lot more blackness.
I wonder why, like, this lady
black eyes, black like nose, long
Who
arms,
said that?
and long fingers. It looks like it's got his like a legs, but a butt. You can see like a butt, but it's like twisted,
Okay.
and it's ugly. It's ugly.
Henry,
There
what's
you
going
go.
on with these pictures?
Oh, the flip roll is the blue one.
Henry, we're running out of time. I'm looking for one fact about your life. Had a great conversation.
It's over.
We got 1 minute to
I
go.
need a drink.
Henry, why do you need a drink?
Don't you want one?
It's fine out here.
I'm coming home. Whiskey.
Henry,
Yeah?
we're gonna wrap this up. Can you say goodnight, please?
No.
Try.
We've done this.
I know, over and over and over again.
Yes.
This is crazy. Like, I've never had this many reactions. Like, I know it's all conversational, but I've never had this many reactions. Henry, say goodnight.
Words. Over. Over.
Next few days.
Henry,
How about that drink?
how about you give us an answer? I can interrogate you.
Redemption.
Give us something specific. Not fact, Henry. Not conversation. Facts.
We talked about it.
Go, Henry.
Henry. I hear you.
Henry.
Yes. Here you go. You're gonna be alone.
Who normally comes to you?
Don't know.
Yeah, you do. Try again.
You know.
Not my name.
Who normally comes here with you?
I said. Go with it. You know.
Henry, one more hit and we'll call it a night.
Oh, wait.
But then he did look at me and sounded like
You're doing good.
decided maybe not.
The rest of that phrase.
As long as you can spell it. Yay.
Good night, I'm in Texas.
Okay, Henry, we're gonna call it. Going once, going twice.
Elizabeth.
Giants call.
Alright, go and tap in on the legs. Dave, go ahead and peel that off the place.
Good.
Yeah. Alright. Your spirit box, I want you have a volume, you have a button next to your volume. I want you to flip the switch in the opposite direction of it, just so that we know that the last 12 minutes of this came from this session. I'll be honest, like, this is the weirdest session I've ever had.
Really? I'm
Weirdest
interested.
people.
I want to hear this.